Om Shuklambaradharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chaturbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyayet Sarva Vignopasantaye. Om Karnebhih Shruniyama Devaha Bhadram Pashye Bhakshabhiryajatraha Sthirairangai Stashtvagum Sastanobhihi Vyashema Devahitam Yadayuhu Swasti na Indro Vruddhashravaha Swasti nः Pusha Vishwavedaha Swasti nastarksho Arishtanemihi Swasti no Brihaspatirdadhatu Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om O Devi Suyate Nityam Vibhudairveda Parakaihi Same Vasada Jikvagre Brahmarupa Saraswati Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagini Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Yenjanam Nityam Anantarupam Bhaktanukampa Drita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namami Yathagner Dahika Shaktihi Ramakrishne Stitahiya Sarva Vidya Swarupanta Saradam Pranamamyaham Vivekajananda Nimagna Chittam Vivekadanaika Vinodashilam Vivekabhasa Kamaniya Kantim Vivekinam Tam Aham Namami Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyama Asmadacharya Paryanta Vande Guru Parampara Namostute Vyasa Vishala Buddhe Pullaravindayata Patra Netra Yena Tvaya Bharata Taila Purnaha Prajwalito Jnanamaya Pratipaha Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Tattvamasi is the Mahavakyam of the Vedanta Shastram. This Mahavakyam has three words. Tad Tvam Asi. It is an equation. One side of the equation is Tat Padam. Another side of the equation is Tvam Padam. Tad means here Brahman. That Brahman is revealed by the Shastram from two standpoints. One standpoint is Tatastha Lakshanam, from the standpoint of Upadhi. Upadhi means it is not its intrinsic nature, but it is incidental, useful for our understanding. Jagat Karanam Brahma. The Jagat Karanatvam of the Brahman is not intrinsic, incidental, but useful for our understanding. Because we are seeing the Jagat, so this Jagat is taken and the Karanatvam of the Brahman is revealed. Known to unknown is the learning process. So Jagat Karanam Brahma is one indication, one Lakshanam, which is called Tatastha Lakshana. Another indication is Swarupa Lakshanam. What is the Swarupa Lakshanam of the Brahman? What is the intrinsic nature of the Brahman? Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. It is existing as a conscious entity eternally. It is Anantam Satyam, Anantam Jnanam. So this is the definition of Brahman, which happened to be one side of the equation. Then another side of the equation is called Tvampadam. The Tvampadam means you. Tvam means you. You means the Shishya, the individual. The individual also has two types of standpoints. One is apparent one, another one is real individual. Apparent qualities of the individual is called Tatastha Lakshana. And intrinsic nature of the individual is called Swarupa Lakshana. So you have to imagine there is an equation. This side of the equation is that means Brahman. Another side of the equation is you, the individual. The you is understood in different ways. Suppose if I ask who are you, we tell a lot of data about you. So that data is called biodata. In Shastram, Tatastha Lakshanam, the individual is, that is apparent individual, is defined from Panchakosha Atma or Panchamaya Atma. So analysis of this Panchakosha Atma is called Panchakosha Vichara. The nature of an individual from the apparent standpoint. What do you mean by apparent? Available for perception, but in reality it is not the real about that. So we have 5 apparent individuality. Annamaya Atma, Pranamaya Atma, Manomaya Atma, Vijnanamaya Atma, Anandamaya Atma. Atma means first person singular I. The word Maya is from Mayat Pratyaya. Maya means available for perception, but in reality it is not the truth. So in Taittiriya Upanishad, this analysis comes. Every time he defines himself from one standpoint, and that definition is refuted by the teacher. Then that Atma becomes Kosha. This Panchakosha Atma is analyzed with an imagery of a bird. You have to imagine. A bird is there. It has head, 2 wings, body part, tail part. The individuality, Annamaya Atma, is defined. Purusho Annarasamayaha. The individual is nothing but flesh and blood. Which standpoint? From the body standpoint. Any part of the individuality you take, it is nothing but flesh and blood. Ayam Dakshina Pakshaha, Ayam Uttara Pakshaha, Ayam Atma, Idam Pucham Pratishta. Then next level of individuality is Yeshaha Anyontara Atma Pranamayaha. That Pranamaya Atma means pranic individuality, sensory individual. First is physical individual. Second one is sensory individual, an individual with sensory perception. What is his head? Pranayeva Shiraha, Vyano Dakshina Pakshaha, Apana Uttara Pakshaha, Akasha Atma, Prithivi Pucham Pratishtha. Sensory individual, his head is Pranaha, Dakshina wing is Vyanaha, Uttara wing is Apanaha, Akasha Atma, Prithivi Pucham Pratishtha. Then third individuality is Manomaya Atma. Yeshaha Anyontara Atma Manomayaha, Yejureva Shiraha, Rigdakshina Pakshaha, Sama Uttara Pakshaha, Adesha Atma, Atharvangirasa Pucham Pratishta. Like that, Manomaya Atma is emotional person described. That is, all the four Vedas become the part of the person. Body portion is Adesha, Atma, do's and don'ts. Third person is, emotional person is nothing but whatever you hear, whatever idea you think, conceived or analyzed in your mind, that becomes. So the ear should not be allowed to hear the apashabda vakyas. It goes and creates a lot of problems. So it Bhadram Karne Bhishruniyama Deva. Fourth one is Vijnanamaya Atma, intellectual person. His head is Shraddha, Ritagam Dakshinav Pakshaha, Satyam Uttarav Pakshaha, Yoga Atma, Mahapucham Pratishtha. So Vijnanamayaha is none other than the Shraddhamayaha. Ritagam, Satyam, Yoga, these are all must be there. Then fifth personality is Anandamaya Atma. Priyam Shiraha, Modaha, Dakshinav Pakshaha, Pramadaha, Uttarav Pakshaha, Ananda Atma, Brahmapucham Pratishtha. So, Priya, Moda, Pramada, Vrittis. These are all Vrittis. Ananda Atma. In every stage, the Upanishad says, Yeshaha, Anyontara Atma. From body to prana, Yeshaha, Anyontara Atma, Pranamayaha. Yeshaha, Anyontara Atma, Manomayaha. See, as long as a person considers himself as body, other four personalities, individualities, temporarily are suspended. That is why when a person has that body idea more and more, his life is animalistic life. It is nothing but animalistic life. Everyone he encounters becomes food for him. When a lion sees another animal, it is not an animal to relate with. When the lion is hungry, when it sees another animal, that is not the animal to talk to it or relate with it. It is an animal as a food, prey they call it. So when one personality is active, another personality are temporarily suspended. When emotional personality works, love, affection, anger, these are all active, that time he doesn't have thinking capacity, nor he has any hunger also. Suppose a mother cries because of the death of the child. Her personality is what? Manomaya Atma. So she forgets everything at that time, other than relating with her son emotionally. She refused to take food also. She refused to relate with others also. So like that, when one individuality is active condition, all four other individualities are suspended or resolved condition or passive condition. Anandamaya Atma is active when in sleep. So all other individualities are in passive condition. But why can't we take them as a reality? How you convert individuality as an apparent individuality, not a real individuality. Because for Charuvakas, Annamaya Atma is real. For Naiyayikas, Vijnanamaya Atma is real. So why can't Vedanta accept every Atma as a reality? Every standpoint as a reality. Every Atma means what? Individual has 5 standpoints. Okay, you define the individual with 5 standpoints, from physical standpoint, from sensory standpoint, from emotional standpoint, from intellectual standpoint, from ignorant standpoint. Why you call it a standpoint? Because once you brand something as standpoint, it is not a reality. There is another option of looking that. So why can't you take as Atma itself? Shastra says, simple. The reality means it should stay eternally. Na? The individuality should stay eternally. You yourself go on changing. Na? I am bulky, I am hungry, I am angry, I am thinking about where is the food. I am going to sleep after taking food. 5 statement you told. I am bulky, therefore I am hungry. There, if you don't give, I will be angry. Therefore, I am searching for the food, thinking about the food. After taking the food, I will go to sleep. One paragraph, 5 statements are there. In every statement, I am is there. What I you are? You yourself go on change. Therefore, only it is not the reality. You understand now? So it is not the reality, therefore it becomes a property of the real individual. Every individuality becomes the property, incidental property. Black hair, when we say blackness is the property. Nowadays it can be incidental also. They have found out method. You can make green hair. There are fellows who spend a lot of money to make the hair green. So certain things which can be changed, those changeable things are called properties. So whether the physical individuality is subject to change or not, everyone knows it is subject to change. When a person seriously working in office, his daughter or wife or mother comes, tries to invoke the individuality of emotional individual. Father, brother, husband. He is not ready to accept that invocation. Don't disturb me. I want to stay as what? So and so intellectual person. I am working. Don't disturb me. That means what? There is a possibility of invoking on personality. There is a possibility of refusing that personality. I am not ready to take that personality. When a person sits as the judge, his personality is what? Intellectual personality. Because of his knowledge of law, he is given that role of being a judge. That time, a criminal is brought. Without looking at the criminal, he says, start the proceeding. Then they were go on telling, he was noting down. Yes, these are all criminal activities. Who is that fellow? Then he raises his head and sees that fellow is his own son. Now his emotional personality has to be invoked. If he allows that emotional personality to be invoked, then he is unfit for being a judge, which happened to be intellectual personality. Understood? So these are all the personalities which are subject to invocation, rejection, approval and disapproval, activity and passivity. So therefore it's all subject to changes. Therefore this cannot be the reality of the person. These individualities cannot be the reality of the person. Then what is the actual reality of the person? Who is the actual person? Idagam sarvam yadu ayam atma. Ayam atma, the individual, real individual is idagam sarvam. What a revelation. This revelation you get only by Shastra Prama. Previous one, apparent individuality. You know it without Shastra. But the Shastram classifies your knowledge and makes that knowledge to reveal that the knowledge is about the apparent individual. That is not the reality of the individual. That is not the reality of the individual is revealed by Shastra Pramanam. Without Shastram, apparent individual is solid for that person. That is why a society which doesn't have Veda Pramanam considers itself as physical entity only. The scientific society doesn't have Veda Pramanam. They have Indriya Pramanam only. So those who have Indriya Pramanam consider the individual how? With these 5 personalities only. Their understanding of a person or a life is very gross. They call that person case. They refer it as a case. The case who is lying down on the second room. Case means what? Handleable through medicines, handleable through operations. If you go to an ortho doctor, he has a lot of carpentry materials, Hammer is there, nail is there. It is not to handle a table or wood. It is for handle a person. If you ask him, sir, what we are going to do with hammer and knife and nail? No, you can repair the bone. You can repair a person. So according to ortho doctor, the person is nothing but flesh bone. So Shastram comes here to classify our knowledge about ourselves, which are born because of Indriya Pramanam. It helps us to classify that knowledge and reveals that this is not your individuality, real individuality. When we ask what is my real individuality, the Shastra says, Idagum sarvam yadayam atma ananda atma sayaschayam purushe yaschasavaditye sa ekaha. Ayam purushe yaha sahayeva aditye. That individual who is Ananda Atma is in Aditya also. That means what? Akhandatvam, Sarvagadatvam of the individuality is revealed here. So when a person crosses from one individuality to another individuality, he is always jumping. Understood? He is always jumping. When he exercises, his individuality is what? Annamaya Atma. I have to reduce myself, he says. I have to reduce myself. When he decorates with fair and lovely, what is he? Annamaya Atma. When he bathes, what is he? Annamaya Atma. When he eats, Pranamaya Atma. Nobody eats, I am feeding my prana. Everybody says, I am eating. I am feeding my body. Nobody says, I am eating. So while eating, he is Pranamaya Atma. While loving, while showing his love or anger, what is he? Manomaya Atma. While thinking, while learning, while teaching, what is he? Vijnanamaya Atma. Sleeping time, Anandamaya Atma. Anandamaya Atma is different from Ananda Atma. Understood? So, Sayaschayam Purushe Yaschasavaditye Sa Ekaha is Sarvagataha. So, when you cross these apparent individualities, one by one, Asmal Lokat Pretya Yetamannamayam upasankramati. There is a possibility of crossing over that individuality. What do you mean by crossing over that individuality? Making that individuality as a perceptional, as an apparent individuality, not a real individuality. Making that individuality in our understanding as a perceptional individuality or apparent individuality is called upasankramanam. It is called upasankramanam. So one by one you can convert in your mind, in your understanding about yourself, all these five personalities are apparent. Therefore, Shastra says, Etamannamayam atmanam upasankramati, etam pranamayam atmanam upasankramati, etam manomayam atmanam upasankramati, etam vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramati, etam anandamayam atmanam upasankramati. स यश्चायं पुरुषे यश्चासावादित्ये स एकः स एवं विद. One who knows about his real individuality as what? Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha anandam brahmano vidwan na bibedi kutascha neti. If he knows his real individuality, which is not at these five individualities. So first, the learner should reject these individualities in his own understanding. Then he stands without any properties as Akhanda Atma. Therefore only that individuality, which happened to be the real one, cannot be defined. Akhandam cannot be defined. Yato vacho nivartante. You try to define that individuality. Maximum you can say, this is not that individuality. This is not that individuality. This pranamaya individual is not that individuality. Like that you reject and stand after rejecting all upadhis. Upadhi means what? Incidental nature of the person. If at all you want to say, you can say he is infinite. Infinite means what? It is not a definition. It is a rejection of the definition of finite. Idagam sarvam yadayam atma. One definition. Another definition. Ananda atma. That means what? It is ananta atma. Idagam sarvam means what? Ananta atma. Atma va idameva agra asid nanyat kinchana mishat. Asid means what? Asti, bhavishyati. It is like telling clay was there, pot has come, clay will be there. When you say pot has come, does the clay disappear? No. While telling pot has come, that time also clay is there. So asid means asti, bhavishyati. Ekaha eva. One individuality. If anybody knows, he is a knowledgeable person. What should I know? You should know that you are the ever-existing principle without limited by time, space and causality, as a substance of the entire creation, as a conscious entity. To say I exist, I should be conscious. Yenedagam sarvam vijanati tam kena vijaniyat vijnataramare kena vijaniyat. Knowing everything, existing everywhere in every kshetra as akhanda vastu is the real nature of the individual. One who knows this has crossed his apparent individuality in his understanding about himself, becomes a free person. Asmal lokat pretya annamayam atmanam upasankramya pranamayam atmanam upasankramya manomayam atmanam upasankramya vijnanamayam atmanam upasankramya anandamayam atmanam upasankramya. Having crossed, upasankramya means what? Having crossed that individuality. Iman lokan kamani kamarupyanu sancharan ha hu. Ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam. Ahaman nadohaman nadaha. Ahagga shlokakrit, ahagga shlokakrit, ahagga shlokakrit. Ahamasmi prathamachartasya. I am everything, I am everything. I am Prathamaja, he says. I am Chaturmukha Brahma. Aham Annam. Whatever Annam every individual eats is myself. Aham Annadaha. I am the eater. That means what? There is no Bhoktru Bhogya Prapancha division. I exist as Akhanda Vastu. Aham Vishwam Bhuvanam Abhyabhavam. Suvarna Jyoti. I am Suvarna Jyoti. I am Jyoti, conscious. So this is the actual nature of the individual. Who can know this? One who has Shastra Pramanam in his life will come to know. So Tvampadam, Tatastha Lakshanam, apparent nature of the individual is what? All these five individualities. Swarupa Lakshanam of Tvampadam is what? That individuality which is devoid of all these five individualities, which cannot be described, being Akhandam, Anantam, Swasiddham Vastu. You got the point? This side, Tatpadam is what? That entity which is the cause of entire creation and which happened to be Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Vastu. Here, that entity which manifests as these five individualities and in reality Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Vastu. Therefore, this side also Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Vastu. That side also Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Vastu. Therefore, Tad Tvam Asi. You got the point? From the transactional reality, this equation is not possible at all. It is like 6 is equal to 9 minus 3. For first look, how can it be possible? All the three numbers are different. How can it be possible? So when probing only, we will understand Ishvara also has certain things which can be removed from him. Individual also has certain things which can be removed from him. What are those things which can be removed from Ishvara? Maya Shakti Jagat Karanatvam. Understood? The Jagat Karanatvam is not its intrinsic nature. It is apparent nature, therefore removed. You can subtract. Consciousness is its intrinsic nature, therefore you cannot subtract. Like hot coffee. Heat you can subtract. But Dravatvam, liquidity nature is there, na? That you can never. You try to have powder coffee. Coffee powder you may have, but you cannot have coffee as powder. What you are eating, what you are drinking, I am eating powder coffee. Powder coffee? Hot coffee I am eating, you can say. Cold coffee I am eating, you can say. I am drinking, you can say. Powder coffee. So the liquidity nature of the coffee cannot be removed from the coffee. Understood? So there are certain things which can be subtracted from that entity. There are some things which cannot be subtracted from that entity. If you take the Brahman, which is revealed by the Shastram, Shastram itself says there are certain qualities which is not actually with the Brahman, but which is an attribute for our understanding. So Jagat Karanatvam, Ishwaratvam, Sarva Dayalutvam, Sarva Jnatrutvam, these are all what? Fake identities of the Ishvara. It's all fake. Na nirodho, na chodpattihi, na baddho, na cha sadakaha, na mumukshuhu, na vai muktaha. When we accept your individuality, physical individuality, pranic individuality, emotional individuality, intellectual individuality, then only we accept Ishvara's individuality. As Jagat Karanaha, Sarva Dayaluhu, So, Adi Guruhu is having any relevance only when we accept this idiot intellect. Sarva Dayalu is validity only we have this cantankerous emotional personality who is always doing wrong thing only. So that side also certain things can be removed from the Ishvara. This side also certain things can be removed from the individual. So that is the Shastra Vichara. It makes the Ishvara also naked. It makes the individual also naked. During naked condition, they are Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. That nakedness is called Paramahamsyatvam. In our Shastra, in our Parampara, one who says, I am Paramahamsaha, he doesn't require even dress. Because I am not body. Dress is a requirement for an individual who considers himself as body. The animals, birds doesn't consider themselves as a body. They consider themselves as a living being. This is my food. They are all my category. That's all they know. They don't have that type of intellect which can say, I am body, this is my Annamaya Atma, this is Pranamaya Atma, this is Manomaya Atma. When a bird hatches the eggs, the egg is what? His own children. So he tries to protect that eggs. That time, 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, it doesn't take any food also. It sits on the eggs. My Acharya Swami used to say, modern hens don't know how to sit on the egg. You know that modern hens, which are born and brought up in the poultry farms, they don't know how to hatch an egg, because that as even egg is out from the mother hen, they are taken for hatching in incubator. So 2-3 generation over. So you go and tell to that mother hen, hey, you have to hatch. You have to sit on the egg. What? My mummy never taught this. Because mummy also did not do that. So that matrutvam is absent. You understand? That individuality is totally taken away by the technology. That matrutvam, being a mother, sitting on the egg. Suppose if we compel that modern hen, hey, you have to sit on the egg. What? I have to sit on the egg. So it will trample the egg. Because it doesn't know. Similarly, human society also is more and more made to be deprived of this emotional personality. You ask now present day society's family, do you know your great-great-grandfather's name? No. In those days, 7 generations, they will tell the name. Now, 2nd generation name itself, we don't know. And 1,000 relatives will be there. Fathers, sisters, husbands, wives, relative, like that they will tell. Fathers, sisters, that means auntie. Auntie's husband means uncle. Uncle has one sister. That sister's the son. Now you ask, in English language, all are aunties. Whether he is the sister of the father or sister of the mother, all are aunties. Are sister of the father is somebody, sister of the mother is somebody. That relationship itself different. And children also, all are cousin. Are children of sister of the father is different. Children of sister of the mother is different. They are brothers. They cannot be married. But children of sister of the father can be married. So it's all generalization. Aunties and uncles. And roadwala uncle also. Uncle, mother's brother also is uncle. What is the difference? So these emotional personalities are all slowly disappearing. In those days, if somebody dies in a village, whole village will cry. As long as the dead body is not taken, the cry will be there. I was living in Ooty ashrama some 25 years before. Now and then the workers will not come to our tea estate, ashrama's tea estate. When I asked, no, death happened in that village. Death happened? What about this? No, Swamiji, anybody dies, whole village should cry. And if the relative, someone is from a far away place, as long as he doesn't come, the cry will not stop. And the cry will be in mic also, with Vedanta Tattva crying. So I decided to go and stay there. I want to know. So I went there. 10 days I stayed in a village. There 2-3 deaths happened. So beautifully, with Vedantic thoughts, they are crying. All nice songs. But the thing is, whole village cannot do any work. Like that, in a month, 10 days goes off. Only in crying. 10 days leave. Nobody goes for work. So that type of community was there, which is full of love, affection. Now it's all disappeared. So these individualities are subject to arrival and departure, therefore they cannot be real one. This is one angle analysis of the individual. What is the angle? Angle of 5 individualities, 5 personalities, Pancha Kosha Vichara. The same Pancha Kosha Vichara can be explained as Sharira Traya Vichara. The Pancha Kosha are there, they can classify as 3. Annamaya Kosha can be classified as Stula Shariram. Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha are classified as Sukshma Shariram. Anandamaya Kosha is classified as Karana Shariram. So, from another angle, Sharira Traya Vicharaha. One angle is Pancha Kosha Vicharaha. Another angle is Sharira Traya Vichara. You can analyze an individual from 3 body standpoint. What are the 3 bodies? Stula Shariram, gross form which is available for everybody's perception and handling. Then subtle individual, whether he is hungry, angry, intelligent. How you know? You cannot know, others cannot say. Okay? Unless he expresses, these are all hunger, anger, intelligence or idiasi. These are all Sakshi Pratyaksha. One is Indriya Pratyaksha. First one is Indriya Pratyaksha. Other next 3 are Sakshi Pratyaksha. 5th one is Shastra Pratyaksha. Unless Shastra Pramanam is there, you cannot know that Anandamaya Kosha at all. Ignorant individuality, you cannot know. So, in this angle, the individual's Tatastha Lakshanam is what? Is Stula Shariraha, Sukshma Shariraha, Karana Shariraha. As long as he stays as Stula Shariram, Karana Shariram or Sukshma Shariram, there is no end for his troubles. Navai Shasharirasya Sataha Priya Priyayoho Apagatihi Asti. He is not free from likes and dislikes, Ragadvesha, Kama Krodha, therefore Shoka Moha. Understood? So Shastram says, do you want to continue as an individual with all these problems? If somebody says, yes, Dirgha Ishman Bhava. If somebody says, no, I don't want to stay as Shariratrayam, then I will come, I will reveal your Ashariratvam. Ashariratvam means what? Not as a body. Being as not a body. Living as not a body. Who am I if you ask? Divyo Hyamurtah Purushaha Sabhakya Bhyantaro Kyajaha Apranaha Hyamanaha Shubbraha Hi Aksharat Paratah Paraha. It gives definition. You are Divyaha. You are divine. Amurtaha, formless. Bahya abhyantaraha. Antaraha, bahyaha. Akhanda vastu. Apranaha. You don't have any prana. Amana. No mind. Shubhraha, therefore pure. There is no papam punyam in you. Like that. Asharirakam sharireshu anavasteshu avasthitam mahantam vibhumatmanam matva dhiro na shochati. Sharireshu shariratrayeshu ashariram na shariravastu. Yettadadreshyam agrahyam agotram avarnam achakshushrotram tadapani padam nityam vibhum sarvagatam susukshmam tadavyayam yad bhutayonim paripashyanti dhira. These are all definition of an individual. Apani padam, you don't have legs and hands. Swami, I have legs. That is your apparent individuality. Agotram, you don't have any gotra. Gotra means that kula. Avarnam, Brahmana varnam, Kshatriya varnam, like that varnam. I am Brahmin, I am Kshatriya, I am Vaishya, like that everybody says. Na. I am scheduled caste. Nowadays, people are proud about telling that I am scheduled caste. Caste itself belongs to body. And somebody has put that name of the caste in schedule list. It's all British wala's problem. He has created internal conflict by doing all these things. These are all lower caste. These are all higher caste. Like that he has classified. So people have taken that as reality, then they start fighting. But what is your reality? Apanipadaha. You don't have feet and hands at all. Nityaha, Vibhuhu, Sarvagataha. So you are everywhere. No, Swami, they told so and so day I born. Najayate mriyate va vipaschite nayam kutachinna babuva kaschite ajo nitya shashvatoyam purano. You are not born at all. Acha? No time you are born. Never you are born. Najayate. Therefore, na mriyate. No, they are telling that I have become old. Doctor told only one month is there. Na mriyate, ajaha, nityaha, puranaha, na hanyate, hanyamane, sharire. Let them shoot you. You will not die. If a teacher says like this, the student, if he is an idiot, what he will tell? No, IT teacher ku pavam. Ragama solra. He is telling so many things which are contradictory in raga. That is why sadhus are not understood by the general society. They think they are intelligent and the sadhu is a madcap. But what is the reality, actual reality? It is like mental patient thinking about the doctor as madcap. But who is madcap? Ya atma apahata papma vijaraha vimrutyuhu vishokaha vijigatsaha apipasaha satyakamaha satyasankalpaha sonveshtavyaha. You should know about your individuality which is free from all types of sins. Every time, every fellow has the idea, I am the sinner, I am the sinner, I am the sinner. And there are certain religions, openly with mic they call, oh sinners, please come. Like that. And everybody goes. But if you address them individually, they will get anger. See, in Christianity, everybody is addressed, oh sinners. So everybody agrees and goes to church. You address them separately, individually. You go to the priest and say, oh sinner priest. How can he say that I am sinner? Oh sinner pope. Really agree. But he calls everyone in general. That's why Swamiji Maharaj used to say, Vivekananda Maharaj used to say, it is a sin to call a human being a sinner. He is a divine child. So that is the revelation about ourselves from the Shastra. Ya Atma, Apahata Papma, Vijaraha. There is no old age, Vimrutyuhu. There is no death, Vishokaha. there is no shokaha, apipasaha, there is no hunger and thirst. This is the definition of an individual. So Shastra roars like a lion. Shastra, Vedanta roars about the glory of the individual. Blessed mind will understand. Pure mind, dharmic mind, humble mind, devoted mind will understand about this revelation. Otherwise, 1,000 times we hear also, we will nod our head, nothing will happen. That is why the preparation is very important. But in reality, whether you understand, accept or not, what is the reality? You have two types of individuality. Ishvara also two types of individuality. One type is apparent one, available for transaction, but not real. Another one is intrinsic one, not available for transaction, but real. It is like quantum physics and technology. Technology is not real, available for transaction, but apparent only. But quantum physics says quantum is the reality. You got the point? So, one side of the equation is Tatpadam, another side of the equation is Tvampadam. That Akhanda Vastu is equal to you are. Such an entity which happened to be Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam is you are. When the Shastra reveals that, human mind, the Shishya, generally doesn't understand. If he understands, he will ask, how can it be Swami? How can I be the Brahman? I am a limited entity, limited by Desha Kala. Space-wise, I am occupying small space. Time-wise, I am subject to birth and death. Like that, he raises the doubts. Shastra says, idiot, you have not heard what I told already. When you say space-wise you are small, you mean your body. That body, individuality, I told already, it is not real. All right, you come, I will teach you again. Like that, the teacher, with all compassion. Every time when the student proves himself as an idiot, the teacher gets compassion. All right, so far you have not understood. One more time I will teach you. Another time. 1,000 birth also you teach. Because this Acharya is not going to be existing as individual. After the death of his body, the Guru Parampara will be there. The Parampara will teach. So, it is a challenge for the thinking human mind. It is a challenge for the person who thinks that he has a thinking capacity to understand this fact. It's a great challenge. But not possible for all beings. Even the so-called sharp intellects have failed because of the absence of Daivi Sampat. The Daivi Sampat must be there. He should have a treasure along with his intellect. He should have a treasure of nobility, saintliness. It is called saintliness. Therefore, a saintly intellect alone can understand this. Rakshasa intellect can never understand. So, we have seen Mahavakya Vichara. Tadu Tvam Asi. That Mahavakyam has two sides of the equation. Tadu Ishvaraha Brahma Jagat Karanam Satyam Jnanam Anantam Vastu Tvam Asi. You with 5 individualities which are apparent, but in reality which is free from all these apparent individualities, you are that. So there will be questions with regard to this revelation and clarification of these questions in the Shastra. That is called Mananam. Shravanam is over. Tattvamasi once explained, Shravanam over. But Mananam is there. Mananam condition will ask so many questions. If I am that, why I am not this? If like that, it will be go on asking lots of questions will be there. You will see some samples questions in the next class. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat. Shri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
भवसागर नारणं कारणहि रविनन्दन बन्धन खण्डनहि शरणागत किङ्कर प्रीतमने शरणागत किङ्कर प्रीतमने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने हृदिकन्दर तामस भास्करहि तुमि विष्णु प्रजापति शङ्करहि परब्रह्म परात्पर वेदभणे परब्रह्म परात्पर वेदभणे गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने मनधारण शासन अंकुशहि करदानतरे हरिचाक्षुषहि गुणगान परायण देवगणे गुणगान परायण देवगणे गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने कुलकुण्डलिनी हुम पंचकहे हृदि रन्ति विदारण तारकहे मम मानस चञ्चल रात्रदिने मम मानस चञ्चल रात्रदिने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने रिपुसूदन मंगल कारकहे सुख शांति वराभय दायकहे त्रयताप हरित नाम गुणे त्रयताप हरित नाम गुणे गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने गुरुदेव दया करो दीनजने भक्ति धने चित शंकित वंचित भक्ति धने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने तव नाम सदा शुभ साधन कहे पतितात्म मानव पावक हे महिमा तव गोचर शुद्ध मने महिमा तव गोचर शुद्ध मने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने गुरुदेव दया करो दीन जने जय सद्गुरु ईश्वर प्रापक हे भव